Welcome back, guys, to another ABL Sports video NFL team season recap. Today we are doing the Los Angeles Chargers, and we're joined here by Evan Sambita, Chargers fan, go broadcasting guy at Syracuse, so he knows a lot about the Chargers. So we're gonna just get right into the video per usual. Evan, as a Chargers fan, what were your expectations for the Bolts going into this season?
Going into the year, I think Chargers fans definitely had a little bit of a higher expectation for this year. I think a lot of fans were definitely hoping for a playoff win. I know I certainly was. For years, especially ever since Herbert has been drafted, we've really just been a little bit short in the playoffs. I mean, there was the four interception game from Trevor Lawrence that we had where we completely blew that lead, and it's just been a lot of playoff failures. So we were really hoping for a playoff win coming into the year, but unfortunately couldn't get one done.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. So going into this season, I saw a lot of people actually picking the Chargers to win the AFC West. I still personally picked the Chiefs. I mean, it wasn't even biased. It's just like my philosophy was until you can beat them, I'm not going to pick against them. Now next year might be a little different, but and my expectations was I this was the year I thought the Chargers would win a playoff game. I thought they'd win at least one, and I think they'd be a very tough out. But unfortunately, as we know, they just got stuck with injuries, and it felt like again, like I don't know what it is, like their offseason training or something, but Rashawn Slater going down in the offseason, that sucks. He's probably pound for pound your best player on your team. And then Joe Alt goes down relatively early in the season. And your offensive line was a mess, and the receivers, I mean, they were all right. And then you had, Najee Harris go down, and also Marion Hampton went down for a couple weeks as well. And that defense, I'll give them credit, played very good. That's kind of why Jesse Minter now has a head coaching job. But yeah, going on through the season, it just felt like the same old thing. They got 11 wins, went 11-6, won the playoffs, but they were a 7 seed,
hmm
and they had the Patriots first round, and we kind of knew what happened with that.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned all the injuries, especially with the offensive line. Slater was right after he signed that huge extension with us, which really hurt because he didn't even see the field. Joe Alt, I thought maybe could have been managed a little bit better. I was actually at the Giants game where he got carted off, which really
Yeah.
sucked to watch in person. But I mean, everyone's seen like the Sunday night graphic where the PFL grades are going for all the linemen, and it's like worst in the NFL, second worst in the NFL, and they're all kind of in that line. But I mean, it wasn't just the offensive line. You mentioned Amari and Hampton. He only played 9 games this year. Definitely would have been better with him in. I mean, I'm glad Kamani Vidal had a breakout year. I definitely think we can use him going forward, especially in the run first offense. But I mean, it was just how the way it is. I was really excited to see Mike Williams come back into this team, and then he ended up retiring off of an injury before the year even started. So that was another big loss. I mean, our receiver core, it really wasn't what we were hoping for. I mean, we had Lab McConkey coming off of his best year. There's still some questions about whether he could run from outside of the slot. Keenan Allen was coming back after a year in Chicago. I think he had a pretty good season, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
But
not bad for like
outside
the
of those
first year.
two, I mean, that was really all we had in the receiving game.
Oh, 100%. And, we're going to get into Herbert because, there's now a lot of, talk around him that he can't win, a big game. But, the thing I questioned, and I know, the injuries with your injury luck wasn't good, but week 18 against the Broncos, you sat all your starters. Sat Herbert, everybody does. If you win that game, I believe you would have gotten the 6th seed, which was the Jaguars, which
hmm
the Bills beat the Jaguars, and I know you guys got crushed by them in the regular season, but the Bills beat the Jaguars in the wild card round. Who says you guys couldn't do it? And
hmm
it's just like I question that, but I also think Jim Harbaugh is still a top five coach of the NFL. I think he's going to win a Super Bowl with you guys. It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when, and
hmm
might be next year. Who knows? But my thing was just in the playoffs. It was just the same old. Like not the thing that sucked was not even a touchdown.
hmm
Like that's because the Patriots they won in this game. The Patriots gave you guys their B game and they won.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I mean, it was taking you to my mindset really for that week 18 game. Honestly, I thought sitting all of the players and going into Denver was our best option. I mean, we're talking about it's either Denver, Buffalo, or not Buffalo. It's either Denver,
New England
New
or
England, who
Jacksonville.
we lost to, in Jacksonville, or maybe even the Texans was the other team that was in the mix. We'd already lost to the Texans and the Jaguars at that point in the year, so I really didn't see any point of playing our starters week 18, which We have a history of messing up. I mentioned Mike Williams earlier. He was injured against the Broncos week 18 one year before the playoffs, and we ended up not getting him for that playoff game. This was a couple of years ago. This was under
Brandon
Staley, I
Staley,
think.
yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I thought going into Denver was our best option. Denver was kind of a little bit unproven. I know they had a great record, but a lot of people in league circles were talking about their schedule, which I
Oh
know you
yeah.
got to play who they put in front of you. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
their
not like
fault.
college football. I mean, the NFL
Yeah.
schedule, I don't get mad at like I didn't get mad at the Patriots for the schedule they got. They just made best use of it. So I want to
Yeah.
just talk about their schedule again.
hmm
So first 3 weeks, you beat all three of your division rivals, which two of them, I mean, the Chiefs at that time, in my opinion, were a different team than they ended the season as. I mean, a fully healthy Chiefs team's a tough team to beat. And you
hmm
beat the Broncos as well. You start the season 3-0, and then you lose two games, which frankly, against the Giants and Jackson Dart's first start, you probably had no business losing to them and the
hmm
Commanders, which I'll give them that one because Jaden Daniels was still healthy and all that. But then they rattled off some wins, but they just got crushed by the Jaguars, lost a close one to the Texans, and week 18's week 18. You guys sat your starters,
hmm
but I just kind of want to talk about also kind of Justin Herbert in the playoffs because I believe he's a top five quarterback. I believe he is the right guy. But next year
hmm
he's going to have to do something because I mean, you saw quarterbacks, for example, Stafford, Devontae Adams went down this year. He still kind of came up clutch and like led the Rams to the NFC Championship. Drake
hmm
May, he didn't have many weapons. Patriots still made the Super Bowl. So I think Herbert, he does have to win a playoff game next year. What say you on that?
I kind of agree. I mean, I feel like the knee-jerk reaction right after the Patriots game was he can't win in big games. I still disagree with that statement. I mean, I looked at the box score after that game and he had 160 yards, no picks, no touchdowns. Behind that offensive line, I mean, his receivers weren't really getting that much going. The one thing that I will say for Herbert, which helped us at the end of the year, was Oronde Gadsden coming up, Syracuse guy who was a fifth or sixth round draft pick who I think really helped us through the end of the year. I mean, we haven't had a really good tight end since Gates left. Maybe Hunter Henry, you could say, was the last guy to get it done for the Chargers. But I mean, Herbert, he's going to have a lot to prove in this next year. I mean, but it's hard to say this guy can't win in big games when he performs so well in the regular season. Like if you're looking at it from the Chargers perspective, you can't move on from him. He's
Oh yeah.
way too good in the regular season for him
Yeah.
to move on. I mean, like you said, I think he's a top five quarterback too. So it's just a matter of it's been a little bit unfortunate. The game in Jacksonville, I thought really got away from us, and some of those losses that, like you said, it was just really unfortunate. The Texans won in week 17. Dicker missed an extra point and a field goal. If he makes
Yeah.
those two, it's 2020. Maybe we're looking at a win. Maybe we're looking at winning the division at that point. The Jaguars game, we got blown out. Colts, the score was pretty close, but
I
honestly, I
don't think the
never
game
thought we
was
were
that
in that
close.
game.
Yeah.
No, and Giants, we had no business losing. Commanders, we kind of got blown out in that one too. So it was really two different football teams. It was what team is going to show up? Is it the one that's going to perform and actually win the games, or is it the one that showed up in all of those losses?
Yeah. So let's look at let's go kind of into the coaching changes, and then we'll talk
hmm
about the offseason, the moves need to be made. So Jesse Minter, I think everyone knew he was going to get a head coaching job, which, that's fine. A good defensive coordinator moves on. I
hmm
just kind of assume whoever Jim Harbaugh replaces him with will be good because I've never seen Harbaugh have a bad. I mean, he had Mike McDonald, Jesse Minter, Wink Martindale. Like he's had like he'll be fine. Um, but the big story I think was Mike McDonald coming to be
hmm
your OC, and he picked the Chargers job over the Lions, over the Eagles, over the Ravens. A lot of good offensive coordinator jobs, which on paper might be better than the Chargers. I'm not saying it's a bad job. It's
hmm
probably like second best offensive coordinator job in the league, like of the open cycle behind the Bills, only because they had Josh Allen as their quarterback. But so, what was your reaction to the coaching changes this offseason?
I was really surprised in a good way, to be honest with you. I thought, to be honest with you, McDaniel, he probably could have gone for a low-level head coaching job if he really
Oh
wanted
yeah,
to. I mean, he kind of was dealt a losing hand with the Dolphins. I mean, Tua, a lot of injuries there and not the best roster outside of Tua, but I was very happy that he chose us. I mean, I think the allure of playing with Justin Herbert was probably the main reason, or
yeah,
coaching alongside Harbaugh. And on the defensive side, it really sucked to lose Minter. but you kind of figured that was going to happen. Even before the season, we were talking about
Yeah.
that's probably going to be something that we're looking at the end of the year. And I think Chris O'Leary is, I mean, he's unproven, but like you said with Harbaugh, I don't think he makes bad hires. I think, especially with the roster that he'll have on this defense, I think he'll probably do great next year.
Oh yeah, 100%. I just kind of assumed, like I said, a Jim Harbaugh like even with Harbaugh, like at Michigan, even as bad teams, he had a good defense, a good offensive line, which we'll get into the offensive line because I'm gonna assume, like knock on wood, it's gonna be fully healthy. Like
Mm,
or not fully healthy, but like relatively to last
yeah.
year. Like I'm assuming you're not gonna lose both your tackles for a minimum of 10 games. And I and if let's say you have a relatively healthy offensive line, that's a really good offensive line when healthy. I mean, you have probably two top 10 tackles in the NFL. Zion Johnson's a solid player. So I'm blanking on your center's name, but
He actually just retired, so we're in the market.
oh yeah. But I hear Linderbaum might want
Yeah.
to come. So if you get Linderbaum, and he doesn't miss games. And looking at the running game, Marion Hampton, that's fine.
Mhm.
If I'm just we need him to take another step. And the receivers, I don't think this is a trade destination for like an AJ Brown or like a Tyreek Hill or something like that. Like I think I'm gonna be honest, like I think you let Trey Harris develop. Keenan Allen's a safety blanket. Maybe, get someone in the draft. But
Mhm.
I I think this year it really is on Herbert. Like assuming you guys can be healthy,
Yeah. I mean, Keenan Allen's a free agent right now, so
he's gonna
I
resign though. Like it's
he's got to resign. It's either us or the Rams, I would
yeah,
assume. So I liked what I saw out of Trey Harris, to be honest with you. I even had him on my fantasy team in a pretty big league at the end of the year. He was really good when needed. The only issue is we didn't really call on him that much. I mean, Lab McConkey, this was supposed to be his really big year, and it was kind of similar to last year in a lot of ways, where he just he feels like he's more of a secondary receiver. I
yeah,
will say he's probably one of the best secondary receivers in the NFL, but
oh yeah,
I really just don't think he can be that lead guy. And like you said, AJ Brown, I don't think that's realistic because I don't even think he's going to get traded. It makes no sense if you're the Eagles to trade him. No matter how bad the chemistry is, you can't give a player
yeah,
like that away. And Tyreek Hill sounds like a lot of NFL teams are staying away from him
yeah.
just
I just saw
because
that
the
report.
injury
A GM
history.
said no.
Yeah. So, I mean, the receiver room is what it is right now. I think Quentin Johnston is another guy that
Yeah,
we used a lot this year, and he took a big step forward. It was a lot less of the drops that we
oh
saw
yeah,
in years past. And I really think he took that next step in his development. I mean, he's only in year 4, but I think he can still be that deep ball guy, kind of that next in line to Mike Williams. I think it would have been great to have both of them on the same team and maybe have Williams mentor Johnston a little bit, but I still think he'll be that guy in a couple years.
yeah. I'm trying to think of needs like big needs the Chargers have this offseason. Deep like offensively, I think you just kind of run back the same core. Just hope they don't get injured. Maybe
Hmm.
add another pass catcher. I have a guy I want you guys to draft, which we'll get into in a couple minutes, who
Hmm.
I think will change your offense for the good. And defensively, that defensive line, you got Khalil Mack, Tuli Pelotu. So that you're good there. Secondary, maybe get another corner. But like I said, I think this is a team that, you kind of see them be healthy and run back. And if they don't do good when healthy, that's when you kind of make the move. But going into the draft, is there any certain player or even free agency you want the Chargers to draft or sign?
You mentioned Khalil Mack, and he's a free agent actually as well. And with his age, I don't know if he's going to chase money or probably maybe even stay back with us just for familiarity. But he did come off that elbow injury that he had last year that kept him out for quite a while. That wasn't really an age thing, though. That was more of a
Yeah.
freak of nature type injury. But honestly, I feel like going for a guard is probably our best bet. I mean, a pass catcher would be nice, but we don't have a great history in drafting pass catchers. And I think if we run it back with the room that we have with the solid line around Herbert, if we have two top 10 tackles, a new guard, and Limbaum, I heard Limbaum, it's probably us or the Giants that he would sign
Yeah.
with just because of
It's
Harbaugh.
gonna be one of you guys. Like it's
Yeah.
guaranteed, but
But I think if we can maybe get another player on one of the lines, maybe up Khalil Mack replacement in the long term or another guard just to shore up that offensive line.
yeah, no, my player I want you guys to acquire this offseason. I want you guys to draft Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon.
Yeah.
He's physical. He's like 6'4", He blocks like a tackle, but he can run like a receiver.
Hmm.
He is phenomenal. Like he is
Hmm.
going to be a top five tight end in this league probably 2 years from now. I mean, he's great, and I think he would fit perfectly with your guys' physical nature. And he comes from Oregon, physical program. Like they
Hmm.
they make their guys block there. So that's who I want you guys to draft. I don't think a Makai Lemon is needed for you guys. Like I said, you got McConkey, you got Quentin Johnson, you got Trey Harris, Keenan Allen. He's gonna come back. Like I just
Hmm.
he will. And so I think you guys are fine there, but I think Kenyon Sadiq is the guy.
Yeah, I mean that would be nice. I'm biased because I'm a Charger fan and I'm going to Syracuse right now, so I really want Rondé Gadsden to come into that role. That's the only I think that's the only really barrier for drafting a guy like you said, like Sadiq. I I don't know if you have two young guys kind of running out of that tight end spot. I will say Rondé Gadsden is more of a Kyle Pitts kind of
Yeah.
type player where he doesn't block as much. Even in his college days over here last year, he wasn't the biggest blocker, but he's a really talented pass catcher. And Sadiq, I think he could fill that role, but I think when you really look at it and you see the biggest needs of this team, if Gadsden takes another step, you're completely good for a tight
Oh
end.
yeah.
I mean, we came into the year and Tyler Conklin was our tight end one, and by the end of the year, it was Rondé Gadsden's role. That was his
Yeah.
role, the tight end. So I think if you can get another guard to step in there, or maybe just another piece on that offensive or defensive line, I really think that's kind of a bigger need.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And just kind of wrapping the video up right now, the Chargers, the betting favorites to win the AFC West next year. I might pick them. I don't know yet. I'm
Mm,
between them and one other team. And, Charge, this is the year. This is because if you're looking at the AFC next year, the Ravens, new coach, the Patriots, maybe a Super Bowl hangover, the Bills, the Bills will be the Bills. The Bengals, I don't think the Bengals are going to be much of anything, honestly. The Jaguars, could they be a one-hit wonder? The Texans, we don't know about Stroud. If in just the AFC West alone, the Chiefs, Mahomes is ACL, but I think they're going to be just fine. I think he's going to come back. And the Broncos, I'm going to be completely honest. I think the Broncos will make the playoffs, but I don't believe much in them.
hmm.
So AFC is wide open next year for the Chargers to take it. So any last thoughts before we wrap up the video about next year?
This is the same exact conversation that we had last year, or the same stuff that I heard, to be honest with you, because it was the same thing. I feel like a lot of people came into this year assuming that this would be the year that Justin Herbert took down Mahomes. And I mean, they ended up being right. We ended up beating the Chiefs twice,
Yeah.
especially week one. I mean, after those first 3 weeks where you win your first three divisional games, I really thought this is the year that we win
Oh,
the
this is
division.
Super Bowl, 100%.
Yeah. I mean that has to be the thought coming out of those first three wins, but it just kind of sucked that this was the year that the Broncos decided to actually be a good team as well. So I think if we can get past the Chiefs, I don't know who's going to be quarterback for the Chiefs next year,
They're
but
saying
I mean,
Mahomes will be good by week one. And I believe it.
really,
Yeah, I mean, personally as a Chiefs fan, I mean, if he's not 100% at week 1, I'm not playing him. Like if
yeah.
he's not 100% till week 8, I'll just sit him for the season. Like get
Hmm.
another high draft pick, but if he's good week 1, if he's the Mahomes we know,
Hmm.
especially paired with Eric Bieniemy again, rumored is we're going to get some O linemen, so could be good. But this is a Chargers video. We're gonna wrap it up with the Chargers. Um, I believe that great culture, Jim Harbaugh, top five coach, and also thank you, Evan, for joining us. We really appreciate it. No one's more knowledgeable of the Chargers than you, so thank you. And we'll be doing a recap next year at this time too. And hopefully, or for your sake, we're saying a couple things differently.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have a Super Bowl win to talk about, or at least an appearance.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, hit the link below to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.